was walking down the street, feeling kindly, when the wind came out your butt to my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see. My hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt to my wig off. People started laughing, they couldn't believe their eyes as my wig flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands, 'cause the wind came out your butt and now it's somewhere in the land. Oh, the wind came out your butt to my wig off. Baby, you drive like shit. Did you see the car that you almost hit? I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. She just ran through always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. Baby, why the hell did I let you drive? It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. Oh, 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 oh. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. My girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Heard you think you're tough. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whip that ass, talking all that shit, spank that ass till you down like a bitch. So I ain't playing. I'm here to get that. Whoop that ass. It's time to punch face. I'm the one who brings you pain in the ring. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Throw a box like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man, a radioactive pimp in his hand. His hand was 10 times his normal size to help him get his money on time. He knew it was bitch was telling a lie, which was 100% of the time. Superpower to make a bitch listen and get her naked with sex-ray vision. Keep a police station in a single bound, slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was Superman. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fucked it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my gift hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap. Come get your face. hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad to teach you, you should ask yourself who taught you to hate being what God made you.
Welcome back in the building one more evening. Come on in, come on in. Sit back, relax, and let's jump on today's topic. And love you for just who you are and your natural beauty. As my theme song says, I love me for my natural beauty, and you love you for your natural beauty. So salute to all of my supporters, to all the subscribers, everybody in the chat, Georgia Tech, Audit to Audit, the Bull Man and the Bull Pen, Lackluster, and much, much more. Thanks for your support. I appreciate you so much and smashing that like button as you enter into the building. So get your popcorn, get your wine, get whatever you may need. Sit back, stretch your legs out, relax, and let's jump on in. Tonight we are in Maryland. We're in Maryland, Baltimore on tonight. We have a guy, wrong suspect, but the officers arrest him, pull out the firearm, and physically attack. So let's jump on in today and see how that goes down. Thank you, and thank you very much.
Baltimore cop decides to put his gun to the head of the man after a mix-up. Here it is.
Put him in cuffs. I gotta just put him in cuffs. I got Stop reaching! I ain't reaching for nothing! Stop! How you right? I can't breathe! Yo!
Right here.
Yo! What you just put in my bag? You want me in a bag? You with the shit! You not reach! Put something in my pocket! You put something in my pocket! You put something in my pocket!
All right, so we're in Baltimore tonight, and the officers was called out there on a robbery. There is a robbery suspect on the loose. So they get out there somewhere in that area, not at the exact spot, right? They see this guy, but the suspect that they were given the description of is 6 feet tall, has on a brown hoodie, and has on a ski mask. This young man is 5'7", have on a black and red shirt with the white beater up under, with no ski mask, no hoodie. So completely does not fit the description that was given to them. So basically it's a mix-up. They run up on the man, slam him to the ground, and now he has the firearm pointed out at the temple of his head. The temple of his head, not knowing if he has the correct suspect. So let's dive on in a little bit closer and see what goes down next.
He put something in my pocket. Turn around. He put something in my pocket. Turn around. He put something in my pocket. He put something in my pocket. He put something in my pocket. I got it.
I have more video.
All right, so for my man Stars, you heard the guy kept saying he put something in my pocket. He put something in my pocket. So now the officer has planted something on him. What we see, it looks like a setup.
This actually went into an investigative phase. The defense attorney, or the attorney for the alleged victim there, says, first of all, the stop was improper. There was no probable cause to effect any type of arrest whatsoever. So there's a lot of confusion by the individual who is being accosted and physically assaulted by the police.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
There's more. Here it is.
Just to jump in real quick to continue the content. This guy has no clue what's going on. He don't know why the police ran up on him. He don't know why they swamped him. He don't know why he drawed out on him, why they slammed him to the ground, why he's been arrested. And they planted something in his pocket. They setting him up for the hokey doke, right? But he has no clue what's going on in the moment. Smash that like button as you enter into the building. Appreciate you.
Hold on 1 second. Come here. I'm clearing everybody out of here. Yes, sir.
Yo, he just put a whole thing in my pocket, bro.
It's on camera.
Bro, it's on camera. You put it out of my pocket.
Put up the picture full mass. I'm going to explain and try to clarify some of the chaos you see. The Baltimore State's Attorney Office, they decided on September 5th that they will not pursue criminal charges against a Baltimore detective who pressed his gun against the temple of a Black man who was lying on the sidewalk and held down by other officers during an arrest. This arrest took place in May. Defense attorneys for Mr. Jamin Joyner, the 23-year-old man you see being arrested there. The attorney accused the police of using excessive force on Joyner and for stopping him without probable cause. Charges against Joyner were completely dropped. But the police officer—
All right, so we hear that. Doing commentary, folks doing commentary tonight on the content. So the charges were eventually dropped on this dude. Question: what was planted in his pocket? When the police slammed him to the ground, drew out the firearm, swamped him, surrounded him, one of them threw something up in his pocket, right? So question is, what was planted or put in his pocket? Some dope, a baggie, some hard, some sugar. I mean, you got all kind of street slang terms. Or was it an actual evidence linking to the crime that they were called out there for, which is a robbery crime? Some robbery was committed around the block, around the way. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty of it. All right. Share your thoughts, share your comments, and we can dialogue and do commentary in the chat.
Conduct is reportedly still under investigation by the local police department. Now, a video of the incident, which took place on May 23rd, captured by a body-worn police camera and first aired by WBAL TV News in July, showed a group of 5 cops. You got 5 police officers arriving at the scene in front of a corner bodega. This is in East Baltimore. The detective is Connor Johnson. Detective Johnson is the one who tried to restrain Joyner and place him in custody. The officers were responding to a robbery. It was a robbery in the area. And according to them, they were searching for a suspect.
All right, so I'm just stopping it to do commentary, but we see what's going on, and the narrator here will read what's on the screen here in just a minute. But it's just verifying what I've already went over, that they were called out there responding to a robbery. That's the officers. All right. The suspect is described as a 6-foot Black man wearing a brown hoodie, wearing a ski mask. All right. Joyner, who was the guy on the ground that they actually arrested, 5 feet 7 inches tall, wearing a red and black shirt and a white tee, white V up under, with no ski mask, no hoodie. So, all right, doing commentary, and the host will continue to read everything on the screen and break it down to us.
Described as a 6-foot Black male wearing a brown hoodie and a ski mask. Joyner, who is about 5 feet 7 inches, was wearing a red and black shirt when he was detained by the department's district action team. Reported Baltimore Magazine. DAT is an 80-person unit created in 2017 after the police department disbanded its gun trace task force, whose members have been found guilty of racketeering, robbery, extortion charges, and who commonly stop people without reasonable suspicion or probable cause, according to the report in the magazine.
Oh, wow. So that's a fire information. That's a mic drop right there. So in other words, this department has a history and a pattern of being corrupt, of police brutality, of being crooked. He just put it out there. The host just put it all out there. The receipts on this police department there in the local county. Now, I'm trying to see, how do you get these two suspects crossed up or mixed up? One 6 foot, one 5'6", 5'7". So one tall, one short, right? Different age groups, different clothing, different hairstyles. One got on the hoodie, one got on a ski mask. One don't have on anything. One low haircut, one got long hair or an afro, a shag, right? How do we get the descriptions physically crossed up? But see, old dude put it out there. The victim to this brutality by the officers said, they just threw something on me. They implanted something in my pocket. So to let you know, this is all a setup. They can't properly do their job and find the right suspect. So now they just want to snatch the wrong suspect to say they solved the case. What do you think? Appreciate that like button. Appreciate your support and your comments as we continue the content.
So what did Baltimore PD do? They rebranded them. Yes, let's just give them a new name. Keep the culture. New name. There's more. Detective Phil. You got a guy named Detective Phil Polanco. Phil Polanco told reporters in July that officers were, in fact, trying to put Joyner in handcuffs when he got away and fled on foot before being apprehended. In the video, Joyner is shown twisting away from officers and briefly running before being grabbed and held down on the sidewalk. Quote, he's reaching for something. That's what Detective Christian Agard screams. You can hear it. Quote, I ain't reaching for nothing. Joyner responds. And one of the detectives presses his knee into the chest of Joyner, who then says, quote, I can't breathe. Officers begin to search his pockets, and Joyner screams, what did you just put in my pocket?
Right. So that's when I was going to say, that's when they implanted whatever they threw on him as some evidence or probable cause or reason to arrest him, right? And whether we saw the content, what did you see that the young boy says, let's reread this on the screen, where the officer accuses him, says he was trying to put him in handcuffs when he got away and fled on foot, being apprehended again. Where did we see that at? Where did he run away, fled on foot, and they had to apprehend him again? We didn't see that. They jumped that boy, slammed him to the ground, and drawed out to his head, to his temple, threw something in his pocket, and handcuffed him. That's what we saw, right? What did you see? You gonna ask any questions? I'll do the best I can to answer them.
And he put something in my pocket. Johnson then put one hand on Joyner's neck, pressing his face against the sidewalk, and took out his service weapon, putting the barrel of the Glock 22 to his temple for about 6 seconds before pulling the gun away and standing up. In their arrest report, officers said they found a handgun, 8 live 22 caliber rounds, a magazine, and a powdery substance they suspected to be heroin in Joyner's possession. The public release of the video led to a demand from the Police Accountability Board. That Police Accountability Board is in Baltimore City, and they wanted Johnson to be suspended.
All right, so that answers our question. That's what they planted in his pocket. It was a pistol. You heard that, right? 22 caliber rounds in the magazine, right? They found the pow. All right, 8 live 22 caliber rounds in the magazine and a powder substance. All right, so that's what they placed in his pocket. They set him up. This is a setup, folks, right in front of our face.
So let's go to an exacting policy dynamic in Baltimore that was helpful, at least to a degree. They have an accountability board. Some call them a citizens review board. If you don't have one in your local city, make sure you support individuals running for city council and county commission and mayor and CEO to get one and make sure they have subpoena power. At least it provides transparency if there's no justice. Quote, I am sure nowhere in the officer training is it justifiable to point a gun at point blank range at the temple of an already subdued subject, said the board chairman.
Especially if the suspect is unarmed. Especially if the suspect is not being violent. If he's not physically harming you, running up on the officers, physically fighting the officers, assaulting the officer, if he's not threatening to hurt or harm himself and you have to use the excessive force to restrain him, if he is not strapped up, if he doesn't have a weapon drawn out, right? Then why do you have the pow at the temple of his head? That's in KILL mode, right? And that's exactly what we saw. That's what we see on the content. So even if that is your correct suspect, you do your job and arrest. All right, but we see all kind of errors in here where they definitely hadn't crossed their I's and dotted their T's. Oh, I'm sorry, dot your I's and cross your T's. Right. So tell me what you think, what you see. We got a lot of extra misinformed information coming on in.
Of this accountability authority, Joshua Harris, quote, mistakes like this have the potential to end lives or negatively impact them forever. He said and called for Johnson to undergo rigorous training on de-escalation and appropriate use of force and a firearm. These officers went over the top. This was unnecessary, unprovoked, and in the end, unacceptable. Tony Garcia, Joyner's defense attorney, told the Baltimore Sun, quote, they wanted to put an exclamation on their use of force, said Garcia. Not only is it excessive, but they wanted to imprint a mark of fear in his mind. That is unacceptable. That cannot be allowed to happen, end quote. Joyner's defense attorneys also complained that the police officers lacked probable cause to arrest their client, who did not match.
So we hear that. It's a lack of probable cause to even do the arrest anyway. That means you have to build a case. That means you got to do the work as a police officer. Get your evidence together, get your witnesses, get all your receipts, right? Build your case and then execute that warrant. Then go to solve that case. So none of that. There was zero probable cause. They just found a random dude off the street and attacked. That's what we see in people. You tell me what you see, folks, and we can dialogue about this thing.
The description of the suspect they sought, and further noted that the victim told police at the scene of Joyner's arrest that he was not the person who robbed him. Police Commissioner Richard Worley defended Johnson's action, saying at a news conference in July, reported the Sun, saying he was out there doing his job. Okay, so they held him there. The person who was the actual victim of a crime, he comes by, he's likely in a police cruiser to do positive identification on the scene. They bring him there. He said, hey, you know what? That's not the guy. How is it that the victim was aware that's not the guy when the guy had on the ski mask? Well, remember, the guy was 6 feet tall and had on different clothes. The cops didn't understand that, obviously. There's more. So
did we catch that, people? Did we just catch that? So the victim, the one who was actually robbed, went on the scene when they wanted him to do a lineup and told the police, you got the wrong person. This is not the suspect. So just like he said, the host here says, how can the victim identify the correct suspect who had on a mask? He had on a ski mask. He didn't even see the actual suspect's face fully, but can instantly recognize you have the wrong person simply by their height, by their skin complexion, and by the clothing. It's too many other issues at play. It's too many other, reasons at stake, right? So that goes to show you the police's intent through their actions. They don't give a damn. They're not trying to do their job right. They're just trying to get an arrest. That's what I see. What do you see according to our laws? We're in Baltimore tonight, according to our state laws.
Commissioner Worley said that he had been in a similar situation or similar situations with an armed suspect trying to free his hands. And that, quote, you try to do whatever you can to get him in custody. You're scared. You're fighting for your life because you don't know what he's going to do. Joyner was charged with handgun possession or possessing a loaded handgun and drug possession. He spent 54 days in jail and missed reporting to a new job during that time.
All right, y'all. So they either threw some dope on them or either they threw a pistol on them, or some fire on them. One of the damn two. All right. But it's all good because we know that it was a setup. The officers planted one of the two, if not both. All right. So we're going to skip on down a little bit through all of it. And we have here near the end.
Basically work for the same government. Prosecutor's office, very well funded, budget galore. Public defender's office, they have a higher caseload. They have to fight for the little money they have. They don't get to pay for witnesses, expert testimony, etc. Prosecution does. You rarely hear the head public defender or a special public defender coming out to talk against the very city she works for. Big ups to you.
All right, so we got our host here, a man going over our laws, going over state laws, going over county laws, and breaking everything down, going on in the judicial system, breaking it down from the judicial system's perspective, how it's supposed to go, the correct way, the right way, right? All right.
Garrison Project, an investigative journalism organization, reported that an analysis of information by the Maryland Public Defender's Office about the police district action team found that its 79 officers have been investigated more than 700 times.
Oh boy, 79 officers. So these people have a pattern, they have a history, they're crooked, they're corrupt. That's just the police department there at hand. So we're going to skip on down a little bit further and check out a little bit more and see how this plays out near the end. All right.
Unfortunately, still persists just under a new name.
This is that case of culture eating policy alive every single day. They got the right policy. The rules are right on the books. They don't enforce them. The culture is incorrect. And the irony on top of that is this reality. They are defunding the police to a degree higher than any other unit in that police force. And because they utilize these tactics that are illegal, they can't make charges stick anyway if somebody has a halfway decent attorney. All right, we'll bring you updates as they come.
All right, y'all. So there it is. That's pretty much that. Okay? On what you see is what you get, but you tell me your thoughts. You tell me, what do you think? Defund the police, how do you feel about it? And in this case right here, the innocent victim, he was arrested on a bogus crime, but his charges were dropped. So you share your thoughts with me, and it is an active lawsuit in the play. So we're here to rise above the occasion, to conquer police brutality and put a stop to the corruption of the law. Until next time, I'm your host, School for Justice, here where we live, love, and laugh, and I will always continue to speak truth to power. Until next time, fam, salute.